We are here at the lowest place on the face of the earth, the Dead Sea. Once one of the greatest natural resources in Israel and a UNESCO World Heritage Preservation Site. But the Dead Sea is drying up in an alarming rate because the water that has flown from the Jordan River is not reaching it, as it is drawn by Syria, Jordan and Israel along the way. A special committee headed by Israeli and Jordanian officials is trying now to find a solution, hopefully before the Dead Sea will be a place you will only be able to see in photos from the past. The director of the Israeli branch of Friends of the Earth, Gidon Bromberg, explains the great challenges that lie ahead trying to save the Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea is a tremendous challenge. It's dropping by over 1 meter in depth a year. But that is not some sort of God-given disaster. It's man-made, and it's man-made by us, Israelis, Jordanians and Syrians in the area. Half the reason why the Dead Sea is drying up because the Jordan River, its natural source of blood, its natural source of water, has been heavily diverted. 95% of the fresh water that used to flow down the Jordan is taken, half by Israel, half by Syria and Jordan together. The other reason, the other half of why the demise of the Dead Sea is taking place is because of industry. The Dead Sea Works on the Israeli side, the Arab Potash company on the Jordanian side are literally drying up the sea. And therefore we need to strike a new balance. And we can only do that together because our water resources are shared.
Less than 30 years ago, the Dead Sea's sea level reached those posts behind me. Today, in order to reach the water, you have to go all the way down there. The Jordanian Minister for Water and Irrigation, Saad Abu Hamour, shares with us what the Jordanians are going to recommend as their solution to the emergency situation in the Dead Sea.
The Red Dead project is the sustainable project for Jordanians. It will satisfy the own needs for different water uses up to year 2060. And after that, we can increase also the desalination. We can expand the desalination to satisfy the future needs for the Jordanian and for other beneficiary countries. The ministers of water in Israel and Jordan and Palestine, they will meet and they will decide the next step. But for a Jordanian, it's a must. We are going with this project ahead.
Turns out that the Red Dead Sea project has quite a lot of opposition, especially from environmentalists, as sustainability expert Dr. Tammy Zilberg tells us.
The situation at the moment is that not only environmentalists are opposing to the project, which might change the nature of the water in the Dead Sea and turn it into Red Sea, red water with all sorts of chemical changes, but also a question of how socially and economically this project can be done. And since there is not a very good stakeholder engagement process within it, I doubt it that this project will actually materialize.
The Jordanian minister reiterates how crucial it is for his government to save the Dead Sea.
We are going to desalinate water to rebuild or to give the life back for the Dead Sea, to raise up the Dead Sea and to protect it, and at least to get rid of the sinkholes where it's created now on both sides. And it's damaging, destroying the land, the farming segments, destroying the buildings. Nobody knows what's happened with the hotels in the shore of the Dead Sea. Maybe after a few years will fall down also.
Bromberg claims the issue of saving the Dead Sea is much broader than a conflict between some neighboring countries.
We're talking about a World Heritage issue. We're with our governments that we must save the Dead Sea, but we believe the way to save the Dead Sea is through the partial rehabilitation of the Jordan and forcing industry to change their practices so that they conserve water.
Dr. Zilberg concludes that in any solution to save the Dead Sea, there's no way to neglect the Jordan River, which has always been seen as the lifeline of the Dead Sea.
You have to think about it in a much more integrated and larger perspective, and the Jordan River is the root of the Dead Sea. So you cannot ignore the Jordan River in such a solution. And the Red Dead project will not bring water to the Jordan River. It's the interest of every player in this game to think sustainability and to find sustainable solutions and to conduct all the sustainable processes with the society at large in order to achieve all these solutions.
There's no doubt in anyone's mind that the situation is beyond repair. However, environmentalists are pushing the Israeli and Jordanian governments to step in and do something now before what we see here will be a thing of the past. For JN1, I'm Jacobsohn at the Dead Sea.